Hello. Hey, I'm Claire Louise here from BeHealing.com. I'm just going to go on my live on my phone so I can see the comments. I'm going to watch that video. My channel. How are you today? Here we go. Here we go. Stop the feedback. Yes, I'm on. So I'll just relax and wait for a few people to come on so I can get going. Hello. Just made my coffee. So if you watched yesterday, I was talking about my addiction to top bars, my chocolate addiction. I've been eating like 2 to 4 bars a day in the evenings. Obviously needing the calories because I wasn't putting on weight with it, but of course I don't want to do that. I don't want to be eating that kind of food. And so yesterday I did something differently. I had more protein. I had much more protein than usual, in fact. And it worked. I did have one chocolate bar, but I was just so full I couldn't even eat anything else. I wanted to. I still wanted the chocolate bars, but I couldn't possibly. So welcome to Psychic Cafe. I've got my coffee. Got my cards. Haven't got the cat today. She was in, but she's gone out. And the coffee's really good this morning. So pop me a message. Tell me where you're from, where you're watching from, who you are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a bit about the energies of today. I'm going to pick some more cards for everybody to go into more detail, more guidance for today. I'm going to pick my cards for the day. So every day I pick 4 cards for myself and I'll leave them by my bed, and that gives me guidance all day. Talk a bit about myself with that, and then I'm going to answer people's questions and give them readings too. So we'll see what your higher selves have to say to you today. So if you haven't already, check out the daily read for today. It's really good. So I record these, the daily reads and the weekly read on the same day. I record them on Sundays. So I do all the daily reads first and then I do the weekly read. And it's great because like I forget what they're about. Like I record them all one after another and then forget what they're about. And so I get to watch them myself in the mornings, and then I'll watch them again in the evening and too. And they're really aligned with stuff that's going on with me. Anyway, today's daily read, so today being Monday the 30th of September for me. I know other people might not be there yet, but I am. So today's energy is all about getting ready for overwhelming good. Overwhelming because we tend to have a set point of what we will allow in our lives, but also what we can cope with. There's like a joy set point. There's an upper limit to how much joy we'll let in our lives, because beyond that we feel uncomfortable. It's like too much joy. And same with everything else. We've got these limits on the good stuff. And today's energy is all about raising that up, ready for some really good stuff that how you are at the moment is going to feel overwhelming to you, which is awesome, isn't it? And that's the inner work you want to be doing, raising your upper limit so that you can get even better stuff in your life. So that's very cool. Can't remember what the rest of it was about, but let's pick some cards and find out more about the energies for today. See if we've got more information, more guidance, more stuff that'll help us. So that's what my readings are all about. It's about things that are going to help empower us, changing our mindset, changing our consciousness, changing our emotional state, so that we're doing good for ourselves, so we're not blocking the stuff that we want. It's about healing. That's why my business is called Be Healing. It's about healing yourself. Not just healing yourself, it's about being in this state of constantly being self-aware, constantly knowing what's going on within yourself, so that you can deal with stuff, you can feel things, and you can deal with things when they come up in the moment. So that's why it's called Be Healing. It's being in that state of constant awareness, which might seem exhausting for some people, especially if you're just getting into the world of healing yourself, of like self-help and stuff. But once you start reaping the rewards of it, it's just, why would you do anything else? So that's what I do. I connect in with people's higher selves. Oh, I can see someone else has come on. So just put me a message telling me who you are, where you're from, where you're listening from. I'm just going to go into just picking some cards out to go into more detail about the energies for today. But I was saying, if you haven't seen the daily read for today, which is Monday the 30th of September here, it's all about getting ready. Hey, AP, I'm good, thank you. I'm very good today. How are you? So today's daily read is all about this set point, this upper limit that we have to good in our lives. So how much joy we can take before we'll start sabotaging ourselves, how much love we can take before we'll start sabotaging that relationship. And so we've got these upper limits on everything, on abundance, on everything in our lives, of how much we can take before it gets overwhelming, before it feels overwhelming. Today's energy is all about breaking free of that. So doing whatever it is to prepare yourself for greater good to come into your life. So that's awesome energies for today. Very exciting. So I'm just picking out some cards to go into further detail about energies for today, or any guidance for today. And I've picked out these two cards. I'll show you. Empower Self and Grace. Now, the Grace card to me is all about the flow. That's what I see it as. Grace is that state where everything's just flowing, everything's just working out. It's easy, And so this is telling us to empower ourselves to get into that flow of grace. And so empowering ourselves, that's all about creating boundaries. It's about really feeling what things are doing to us, what people are doing to us, creating boundaries around that, so choosing what's best for you. And you can only do that if you're actually feeling what's going on. Look forward to hearing the messages in need of help. Oh, cool. Yeah, so once I've done this, I'll give you a mini reading, AP. But we'll just go into the energies for everybody first. So empowering yourself is all about creating boundaries. And you can only create boundaries once you start really listening to yourself and feeling yourself. Now, a lot of people that follow me, they're empaths, and they tend to focus on everyone else. And there's as I was saying yesterday in Psychic Cafe, there's a good side and a bad side to everything. There's a good side to empathy, of course. It's good to be able to put yourself in the position of somebody else, so that you're more likely to be kind and gentle with people, more reasonable, more, I don't know the word that I'm looking for there, but there's obviously a good side to empathy, and it makes you sensitive too. You can read situations, you can read other people. There's a good side to that. But then there's the dark side of empathy. I actually made a video, and it's on my YouTube channel. If you search for that one, it's pretty interesting. But the dark side of empathy is, and talk about how empathy comes about, how we get this gift of not just empathy, the empath, the empath, the one that's feeling other people's feelings and stuff. I'm very sensitive to that. And the reason that we actually get that gift, that we develop that gift, is that we grow up in abusive situations. Now, I'm not saying that everyone grows up in severe abuse like I did, but in general, our society, Western society, is abusive. It's it can be disregarding of your emotional state, that kind of suck it up, stop crying, that kind of thing. It can be abusive in the schooling kind of thing, not nurturing to what people's passions are, what kids' passions are, trying to get them to, do something that they don't really want to do, with that authoritarian kind of thing that's going on in a lot of society, and that's abusive too. So there's lots of different levels of abuse, and it affects us all, all of it affects us. And so what happens is, when you're growing up in abuse, you learn, especially if you're around really abusive people, you learn to watch the scary tiger in the room. Because if there's a scary tiger in the room, you need to watch that tiger. You need to see when it's going to pounce. You need to be more attuned to that tiger's emotional state than your own. Because the way to keep yourself safe is to watch what that tiger's doing, what it's about to do, if it's getting angry, so that you can run out of the way. And so this is what happens. We grow up in abuseful society, or abuseful families, or whatever, abusive families, and we learn this empathic way. And so that's the dark side of it. And so that's how it comes about. The dark side of it is, we carry on like that. We carry on looking at everything like it's a scary tiger in the room. We're tuning into other people and noticing other people's emotional states instead of our own. So we completely miss our guidance, completely missing out on what's going on for us. We don't look after ourselves. We're not, because if we're not feeling what we're feeling, if we're ignoring that and focusing on what everyone else is feeling, we're completely ignoring what's going on for us. We're ignoring what we don't like, what we do like. We can't empower ourselves like that, Someone that's not feeling what they're feeling is never going to create a boundary to that scary tiger, because they're just focused on the scary tiger and pleasing the scary tiger so that it doesn't snap at them and so it doesn't eat them. Even if it's not a scary tiger, even if it's a little kitten, And so this is what empaths do. I've seen it because I used to do it myself, is treat everything like it's a scary tiger, focusing on other people's emotions, trying to people please, to protect themselves. It's just a learned behavior, and it's really detrimental to us. So that's why I talk about empowering yourself, is kind of breaking free of that. It's being able to use the good side of empathy, those good sensitivities, use those sensitivities in a good way, while still focusing on the self. So in the last couple of days, I've talked a bit about why is selfishness. So again, selfishness, there's good selfishness, there's bad selfishness, there's wise selfishness, there's destructive selfishness. Destructive selfishness is putting yourself over the top of others, running over other people's feelings, not caring what other people want or feel, and just going for what you want. And wise selfishness is being attuned to your feelings and what you want, and making wise decisions for yourself, and drawing up boundaries. So this is how it ties into this empowerment. Is boundary setting can only happen when you're actually feeling what you're feeling and listening to yourself and making decisions that are good for you based on that, and drawing up boundaries based on that. It's not about not caring whether you hurt other people, but hurt is how somebody reacts to something. They can be hurt by it. I'm not saying that you can't intend hurt. Some people can intend to inflict pain on people, but you can hurt people without intending to, and that's up to them. It's up to how they take it. And so if you say a relationship isn't working for you anymore, and you make a decision for yourself, and that decision's right for yourself, of course that's going to hurt the other people when you tell them, but you still need to do it. And you don't need to do it in a hurtful way. You don't need to intend hurt. You can do it in a kind way. But if they're going to get hurt by it, that's up to them. So when you're empowering yourself, it's don't be scared to challenge people. Don't try not to hurt people. Well, don't hurt people. Don't intentionally hurt people, but don't think You can't empower yourself or draw up boundaries or speak your mind because you don't want to challenge someone. You don't want to hurt someone. You don't want to give someone the opportunity to react either in a peaceful way or being hurt, you know? It's like that whole offense thing. You can intend to offend someone, or you can just say something and someone takes offense at it, and they're very different things. It's the second is all about them. It's all about how they take it. And so to get in this flow, you know, you need to empower yourself, drop these boundaries, do it in a kind way, but not hold back from expressing them to try and save other people from emotional reactions, because that's up to them. We need to put ourselves first. Yeah, we do. We need to put our oxygen mask on first before we help other people. We need to listen to our emotional state and do what's best for us before we try and do what's best for everyone else and try and guess what their emotional state is. Because that's the other thing as well about empathy is really, you know, you can have a psychic gift like I've got, and that's something different. But then a lot of what some people are doing is watching the scary tiger in the room and guessing, you know. You're guessing. You don't really know the emotions that are going on in that tiger. You can look at their face and you can kind of pick up a little bit on it, but really you're guessing, you know. Nobody knows what's going on in someone else's mind. Even as a psychic, I don't know that too. What I'm picking up on is total energy. Does May want to fire me? Hey Mimi, how are you? Yeah, so at the moment I'm just doing the general energies for today. So we've got empowering yourself to get into that flow. So yeah, just hang around Mimi and I'll answer that question for you. So I'll pick another couple of cards for today. More guidance. So in order to move forward with the ideas that you've had, so say you've had an idea of work or something, some change in your life or whatever. If you've had an idea, then you need to let go of old stuff. The completion cards come out, so you need to complete old stuff to actually move forward on those new ideas. What more can I say about that? Letting go, you know, it's something that my latest book is about. Latest book, I wrote it about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's not that recent, but it's called Having It All, a guide to creating a life beyond your wildest dreams. And that book is a lot about letting go. It's about how extreme letting go moves you into an amazing life. And so that's worth a read. You can get that on Kindle or Amazon. But yeah, letting go, it's really powerful. And we can't get it wrong either, because if you let go, if something is yours, then it comes back to you. And so attachment is often what we need to let go of. Attachment to things, attachment to people. That can be the hardest one to let go of. But yeah, guidance today is that it's necessary to let go of that to be able to move forward on your own ideas. So AP. Yeah, if you've got any questions, AP. So if anyone's got any questions about psychic stuff, about any experiences that you're having, or like Mimi has said, does May want to fire me? Because she's stressed. That's not good. Yeah, if you've got any questions, then just pop them up. Oh no. Oh, I'm back. Sometimes I touch the screen on my phone and it goes to a completely different video. So let's sort Mimi out first. So yesterday we were talking, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. Talking about how you're attracting mirror reflections to you, Mimi. I mean, how you're feeling about yourself is how people are reacting to you. First card that came out for you is not to worry. You've got no worries. Yeah. that you should know that you don't need to worry. It's instead of fearing what's going to go on, try to focus on what you're grateful for in that job, and about May too. What you're grateful for about May. At the moment, you got a very negative focus toward her, and we all know what that's like. When someone's really negative about you, there's certain people that don't like us, and they're negative towards us, and straight away you have your backup. You don't want to talk to them. You don't want to be in their presence. You can feel it. You can feel it when someone doesn't like you, or if someone's nervous around you. whatever they're projecting onto you to not like you in the first place, because it's got to be a projection. Not that we're all completely likable to everybody, but if you don't like someone, really, it's not about them, it's about you. It's about you projecting yourself onto them. But the reason I'm saying that to you, Mimi, is that when you're fearful of someone, when you're expecting the worst from them, you don't get the best from them. Of course, she's going to feel that. She's going to feel that, and you're not going to get the best from her. So if you're focusing on what you're grateful for in her and about her and about your job, then things are going to go way more smoothly for you. But yeah, remember, the first card that came out was no worries. So there you go. No worries. Don't worry about it. Worry attracts what you don't want. Good luck with that. AP, what do I need to know about my love life? Hey, Odette. Hello. Yay. Just making you feel like you're doing bad. Yeah. But just try and shift that perception of it. Try and shift how you're looking at it, because it's going to change everything. Oh, AP, your love life. Okay, you've got stuff to heal in your love life. Who hasn't? We've all got baggage. But your higher self is saying that your baggage is stopping you from facing a situation that you need to face. So whether it's, I'm feeling like it's like not wanting to confront because of fear. You don't want to confront something. You don't want to face a situation and maybe talk about it. You're avoiding that because of something that you haven't healed within yourself. So maybe it hasn't been safe for you in the past to speak your mind, or to confront situations, or to face situations, be upfront about that. Maybe you were closed down for that, or maybe it had harsher consequences of doing that, of speaking up for yourself. And so all that kind of stuff needs to be healed. It might be something like you were in a relationship with a narcissist, and that can be like walking on eggshells. It can be, it is a scary tiger in the room. It's like living with a scary tiger in the room, always having to manage their emotional state, because they don't do it themselves, and they far off. You can tell that I've been in one of these relationships a few years ago. In fact, I wrote my last book when I was in that relationship. It was draining. It was very, very energy intense. It took up all of my attention. Very, very intense. And it took me a long time to get over it as well. I was shell-shocked when I left it. It was like I had to pick up the pieces of myself and put myself back together. It's full on. So maybe, I'm not saying that that's true for you, but it may be that you've been in a situation like that and you're still recovering from it. So that narcissistic personality disorder, it's where they're really not managing their emotional state at all, and they can fly into rage. They use all kinds of manipulation. They're really not empathic in the slightest. Like, there's not an ounce of empathy within them at all. They're not thinking about anyone else's emotional states, just their own, just feeling better in themselves, which unfortunately, when they're in that emotional state, is they want to take power over other people. That's the only thing that seems to make them feel better. It makes everyone else feel terrible. But yeah, you've got some healing to do, AP. And so that means any kind of romantic relationship that you're attracting to you at the moment is going to be a replay of the stuff that you haven't healed. So not ideal if you're looking for like a life partner or a really good relationship. So you need to ask yourself, facing situations, speaking up for yourself. Imagine doing that. If you're in a relationship at the moment, imagine doing that, and just figure out what's holding you back from that. What in the past? What are you expecting from them? That's scary, that's stopping you from doing that, and then see how that connects with the past. If you want some help with that, come along to behealing.com. I can do a breakthrough session on that or something to help you out. But your high self, AP, also wants to talk about work, not just relationships, wants to talk about work and especially about respect. This has come up in the daily reads in the last couple of weeks so much about respect. You've got to respect what you bring to the table in your work. You've got to respect yourself. The more you respect yourself, the more respect you'll get from others. And so it always starts off within ourselves. So when it comes to your work, you've got to respect yourself. You've got to respect what you bring to the table. You've got to really value yourself before other people will value you too. So a little bit of extra information for you there, AP. Yeah, no worries, AP. Future husband marriage. Is it something? It's something I worry about. Oh, that's not good. I don't do predictive stuff, AP. We're all the creators of our own lives, and it's only our energy at the moment that's important. And I help people to change that to get what they want. But prediction stuff would only work if you stay exactly the same as you are now. And even if I give you a prediction, that's going to change. The prediction itself is going to change it. I find the prediction readings, they're just for entertainment. They're not real. It's and they can actually lead you astray. They can put false beliefs in your mind. They can lock you into something, you know. So say if, and this did happen, I had a psychic many years ago tell me that I would be moving overseas and it would be Australia, and now I'm in Asia. I moved to Australia, but if I'd have stuck with that belief that that was where I was supposed to be in the long term, I wouldn't now be in Asia. Same. I've had psychics in the past do predictive stuff with me, telling me about certain people, partner especially, and it can keep you looking for that detail where, and you know, if you're growing and changing, if you're changing your energy, if you're learning, you're trying different things in life and you're learning, your path is constantly changing, your future is changing, you're choosing new things. So predictive stuff, I don't like it. I don't think people should do it, but I totally feel the pull to it too. Not to do it myself, but to be told those things. I understand why. Thank you, AP. Cute shirt. Thanks. Isn't it nice? I got this when I was in Cambodia at Angkor Wat, the temples there. Because you've got to have your shoulders covered up and you've got to have your legs covered up. And of course, I had a usual kind of t-shirt with my shoulders showing, so I had to buy this from a shop that was there. But yeah, it is cute. I also bought some like long trousers because I had shorts on. Didn't keep them. You know, the usual Thai kind of, or the Asian, Cambodian elephant pants. Backpacker pants. Do you want a reading, Adat? I haven't read for you for a while, Adat. Oh. That's a very good point, Claire. I totally needed to hear that. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so that's what my work is about. It's about helping people to actually create the life that they want through the consciousness and through their energy, through their emotional state. And so getting the guidance from your higher self about your energy right now and how you can move toward what it is that you want through making those inner changes. Are you still there? I know you want one anyway. I don't know why I'm asking. I just don't know whether you're still there or not. Ooh. If you're not, I'll tell you in a message after to come and watch this bit at 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes into it is when your reading starts at it. Okay, you need to let go more, surrender more. Don't try and sort it all out by yourself. You don't need to take responsibility for it and sort it all out by yourself. You can focus on what it is that you want, what you want to move toward, and you can hand the issues over to your higher self to sort out. That is going to work way better than trying to do it all yourself. There is an element of you needing to, as I was just saying to Mimi, needing to, or AP, needing to take some responsibility to not avoid confrontation. I think we've talked about this before. And so not be scared of hurting the other people, not try and people please, that kind of thing. So there is an element that you need to take responsibility, and I think you know that, and that's what you're trying to do. But then your higher self is saying you're taking too much on now. You're going in the opposite direction, and you're not surrendering things and handing them over. And so you can do that. It wants you to know all of this. You know that anyway, I'm sure. You can feel it. Now, here's another thing. And I see this a lot in the spiritual kind of community. People that have done some work on themselves. They can shy away from discernment, thinking it's judgment. So they can judge themselves for being judgy. They think that judgment is the wrong thing to do, and so they stop discerning because of that. So what I mean by that, discernment is a good thing. It's about choosing what's best for us. It's about choosing what we want, what we don't want. If you went to a restaurant and just ordered the first thing off the menu, that's not being discerning. You look through all of the options and then you choose what it is that you want. That's discernment. That's not judgment. That's not, you don't read a menu, decide what you want, and then say, oh my God, I'm so judgmental. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just picked the first thing. No, that's crazy. And so your higher self is saying judgment. You're not, if you're judging yourself for being judgy, then you're not judgmental, if you know what I mean. You're kind of judgmental toward yourself, but you're not being judgmental. And so look back to where you've got this idea from that you are a judgmental person, because you're not. You need to change how you're thinking about yourself when it comes to judgment, so that you can be more discerning and make better choices for yourself. Like that. You're not here anymore, but I'll message you to let you know. In fact, I'll do that right now. That. Your reading starts at 30 minutes in. There you go. Now you know. AP. Claire, does my higher self need to tell me anything else? Good question. I like those kind of readings the best, because higher selves always know what's most important. With my readings, people can ask questions. I do all my readings are written in, I put them in PDFs and send them to you. But you can ask questions, or you can just leave it up to your higher self. You can actually, you choose between, when you order one, you can choose between general, love, health, money, career. I think those are the 5 options, and you can choose any combination of them for a reading. And I prefer it when people just pick general, because the higher self always knows what to talk about anyway. But sometimes people will pick, say, career or something, and the higher self doesn't want to talk about that at all. It knows that it's relationships that are important. It's like yours before. You asked about relationships, but it wanted to say a bit about work. So yeah, good question. Your AP, you're in a transformation at the moment, and it's all about deciding on who you are. When we're young, when we're age 4, 5, 6, we know who we are. We really know who we are then. We're pure about what we like and what we don't like. And then it's around those ages that we start getting kind of beaten down by the adults, or we have our minds changed by the adults, we start judging ourselves. That's when self-judgment kicks in. So if we're told not to do something, or it's not right to like something, or the usual things that adults do to discipline children, or to try and get children to do the thing that they think is right for them, we lose track of who we are. We start to believe everyone else, believe that we shouldn't like something, or that we're not good at something, and we lose sight of who we really are, and who we really are being what we like. So if you take who you really are down to the basics like that, so imagine a kid saying, you ask a kid who they are, they'll say the name, they'd probably say how old they are, and then they'd say things like that they're like the color blue, and they might say that they're like a certain food, and they'd say the friends that they've got, and they'd say what they're like doing. They're like skipping rope, and they're like riding a bicycle. It's all things that they like. So they've got a few things that define them, like their name and their age, that they get taught at a really early age. And so they've got those definitions of themselves, and then they talk about the stuff that they like the best. And so that's what's innate in us, is what we like ourselves. We come like predestined with that. We come with those. It's like the only thing that we remember about ourselves is what we like when we're born. And we know what we like, we know what we don't like, and that's supposed to put us on our path, on our life path, to do what we want, what we came here for. And then we get sidetracked. We get taught that we shouldn't want what we want, that we shouldn't like what we like, and we can't have what we like, and on all of this. We're taught all of these random false beliefs, and it knocks us off our life path. And then we've got to like heal ourselves from all of those beliefs, and how we're judging ourselves now. Let all of that go, and then get back on track with what it is that we like and what we always like. Remembering who we are, and then start doing the things that we like again, and following that path. Pretty complicated way of doing life, and I guess we don't have parenting right, do we? Or schooling or anything, right? Unless it's a necessary step to go through, is the forgetting, so that we learn even more about ourselves, and that does happen. So you're in a transformation at the moment of finding out who you are. That's why people say finding themselves. They go away to find themselves, because they knew themselves when they were little. So yeah, try and get back to get in touch with your younger self, and remember what you used to really love. And it's the simple things, The other guidance that you've got is to get in touch with your higher self more for guidance. Ask for guidance. Ask, what should I do next? Ask those questions and put them out there into the universe. It can help to meditate. But if you ask the questions, then you'll get signs. Your higher self will answer you in some way. So it's like, which way should I turn, left or right? And then a bird flies past you going left. It's like you'll get answers like that. You'll get signs to show you which way to go. That's a really basic kind of example. But if your eyes are open, if you're asking questions like that, asking for that guidance, asking for an answer. So it could be, how can I get rid of this anxiety? So that could be a question that you put out there to your higher self. And then you're on Facebook and you see something pop up about something that just catches your eye, and it's an article, and you go to that, and then it takes you to another article, and it's the information is there. Yeah. And so get in touch with your higher self more. Ask for more guidance, and then look out for the signs. You don't need to be psychic to get guidance. You can just follow the signs. I do that myself a lot. Been asking for a lot of signs lately. Confirmation. You can't get enough confirmation. That's what a lot of people come for readings for as well. A lot of them just know this stuff anyway, because of course it resonates with them once I tell them. So they know it deep down, but sometimes it's just that confirmation, especially when everyone else around you is telling you that you're wrong, and that you shouldn't follow your heart, and that you shouldn't feel that way. and all of that crap. You resonate with that. That's good, AP. Thank you so much. You explained everything so well. Awesome. Yeah, and I do this even better when I'm typing. For some reason, my channeling and typing is I type really fast, and that's why I'm an author. My blog and everything is that I type better than I speak. I'm okay at speaking, but way more concise and precise when I write. So, yeah, if you want. Also, if you go on my website, behealing.com, scroll down on any page, a little window will pop up and you can get a free introductory reading from me. So I'll go into how your higher self wants to help you in readings and energy healings and in the year-long program of weekly readings in a breakthrough session. So it kind of goes through the stuff that I offer, but I actually do a reading on it. So like how your higher self would want to help you in a reading. So they're pretty useful. And that just lets you know how I can help you more. So you're welcome to one of those if you want to come to behealing.com. Also, check out my, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and like the videos, because I want to reach more people with this. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel up. And I've got my daily reads and my weekly reads on there, which I find really helpful. They're really useful to me. So thank you for the lovely compliment, AP. Is there anyone else on that wants a reading? I'm going to do one for myself. So I'm going to pick my 4 cards out for myself for today. I'll show you what they are. Ooh. Thanks for the like. Oh, cool. Yeah. How's this? Surrender and grace. So that's surrender to the flow. Surrender to the flow of everything. This came up in my weekly reading. So yesterday I do my personalized weekly reading, and I do all the rest of the customers that are in the year-long program. I do those too. So I did all of those yesterday, and this came up for me too. Is don't fight the flow of it, that things are happening. And especially the flow of abundance is happening, even though it doesn't appear to be at the moment. It's happening, and I can surrender to that. The way things are flowing. That's cool. The other 2 cards. Communication coming and gratitude. So this card came out yesterday with appreciation, I think it was, or something like that. Oh, was it gratitude and appreciation? I can't remember. But yeah, it was a similar message yesterday about appreciation coming, gratitude. So people or somebody expressing their gratitude to me, which is nice. And that's another thing, as I was saying, just about signs and stuff and confirmation. It's, when you're on track, when you get those little signs like that, and appreciation and gratitude, that really is one of those confirmations. I'm just going to unplug the laptop so it's not charging when it's full. There we go. Would anyone else like a reading? Is there anyone else lurking? Being quiet? Surrender to grace. I kind of like that. Surrender to the flow. It's hard to do sometimes. I'm in flux at the moment. My life changed a lot in about 6 weeks ago, I think it was. Got back to myself again from a relationship and from some work too. I was managing a place. And getting back to myself and deciding what I want next. That prior 6 months was really good for me, and it's made me really clear on what I want next as well. So lots of good stuff came from that. Got lots of clarity now, and things are flowing, which is good. Anyone else wanting a reading? Or shall we stop it there? I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. It's a sunny day, is it? Let's have a look. Yes, it's a sunny day. Kind of. Might go down to the swimming pool. I'm glad you have more clarity now. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and it wasn't that I was unclear while I was in that 6 months. It was great. I mean, it was so much fun. I was work like just it was so much fun, and I really miss it too. I miss it. I miss that the connection. I've still got the connection with them all, but I'm just not so heavily involved in it anymore. I'm still training there. I'm just not there all the time now. I'm managing the players and taking responsibility for it and growing it. I was growing it significantly, putting a lot of my energy into it, and I kind of missed that. But I know really clearly what I loved about it and what was frustrating about it, because I could have made it way bigger than they actually wanted it to be. So it got to a point where I was making it bigger and they were sabotaging it, and that was my signal. It's like, okay, time to move on from this. But yeah, it has given me great clarity. Awesome. So thank you everyone for coming along. Thanks for your likes and your subscribes and all of that. Check out my other stuff on the YouTube channel and go on my website as well. Got a blog, which I started in, I don't know, 2009 or something. Can't remember how far back it goes. I watched my first weekly reading the other day. That's on my YouTube channel. That was in 2011. The first one that's still on there. I think I think maybe that was the first one I did. Maybe that was the first one I did, because the house that I was in then, kind of recall. That's when I started doing a lot of webinars and videos. Started doing that stuff. So, yeah, check out my old stuff. Come along for one of those free introductory readings if you want to sign up to my mailing list. And have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow if you want to come along tomorrow. And